Welcome to the Dream Council Podcast. My name is Desmond Delaghetto, and this is episode 17 of Drive Council Radio. On this episode, we have Mario E.
AGE Mario.
AGE Mario.
Shit, man. You gotta send some credit to my sponsor.
And Arcade Shot Reynald.
Yeah, what's up?
And this is episode 17 of Drive Council Radio. In this episode, we're going to talk about Winter Brawl 7, and we'll also talk a little bit about the World Game Cup that was held in France. And again, this is episode 17 of Drive Council Radio, the official podcast for DreamCouncil.com. Alright everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Desmond Delaghetto here. Before we start talking about Winter Brawl 7, I just want to go over some quick site news and stuff that's been happening in the forum. It seems that things are picking up pretty decently in the forum. There's kind of a hot topic in the tier list thread about Kim. I mean, I don't think there needs to be any heavy discussion about Kim, but I mean, if there needs to be, I mean, it's cool. Also, on the front page, you might notice some colors on the upcoming events section, and we're going to be kind of color coding different kinds of events. And right now, the colors look kind of weird. I mean, they look real like ambiguous, like some like Bob Ross kind of colors, but they kind of correspond to different kind of events, like a stream event, or like an online games event, or an offline tournament event. So if you have a specific like kind of KOF event, even if it's like small, like some casuals, or if it's something major, we have a thread where you can submit your link and a time with the time zone and the location and what kind of event is it, and then we'll add it to the upcoming events, and it'll show up when the day comes. So check that out, and I'll post like a little link or whatever when we post up this episode. It'll be somewhere like under the MP3 link or whatever. And also just want to address people about the KOF 13 wiki. If there's any kind of like mistakes, if you read through it and you notice there's like inconsistencies or errors or mistakes, please let us know and correct us before it can be corrected. Because I mean, if it's something, if it's any kind of mistake, we have to get it fixed. Just don't complain that there's mistakes. Help us find a solution to those mistakes by posting in the whatever character wiki thread, and post up. You can copy and paste it and post your correction or whatever that you will that you want us to substitute it with, and then we'll fix it. So yeah, don't be shy or whatever. If you see anything wrong, just help us out, and we'll get it corrected and whatnot. So without further ado, we're going to talk about Winter Brawl 7 that transpired. That was 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago up at Philly. And we have AGE, Mario E, and Arcade Shock Reynald. Mario got third, and Reynald got second. And we're supposed to have Romance, but he was busy, so it's all good. As far as talking with us on the show, but it's okay. So firstly, let me talk to Reynald, man. Before we kind of get into more of the gameplay of the tournament, can you share with us a little bit about how the tournament was ran, kind of like from your perspective at all?
I guess it was ran pretty good in the sense that people who were running it were on top of things, but how they were trying to finish up each bracket was kind of a bad idea. whereas each pool would have only one winner. That was the original thought to doing that, but we pretty much fixed it. We talked to Biggie and just told him, it's kind of stupid. We're only having one winner from each pool, whether or not they lost or not. The next day, they would be winners still.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So top 4 will be all winners.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And I do know, like, on Saturday, that's when pool started, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember like there was some trouble of or like a little bit of controversy of the stream, like KOF wasn't being streamed that day. Did you know anything about that at all?
It's probably politics.
Saturday?
Yeah, on Saturday. Yeah.
Oh well, they were trying to just get top 4 on stream.
Okay. Yeah. So you say it was pretty much just politics, pretty much, right, Reynald?
I think so.
Okay. All right. All right. Very cool.
It was a good turnout for King of Fighters. There was 80 people.
80 people. Oh wow, that sounds pretty cool. How long did pools run for? I heard like it was maybe like a couple hours, or was
it was a long time. 1 and 2. I remember 1 and 2. It was like we started at 4:30, between 4:35, and then we finished around 9 o'clock. Yeah, that was.
Dude, my pool finished like at midnight.
Really?
Yeah, the last 2 pools finished pretty quick, but the first 2 it just took a while. I have no idea why.
We had a lot of guys bail out from our pool, from pool 2. Like me, I was practicing my chin to play against Justin Wong, and to find out that this guy forfeited the tournament.
Oh,
I was like, damn. And I even told him, I'm like, damn it, man, what the fuck are you doing not signing up? I'm like, you gotta play these games. And he's like, oh, when I saw Duck and I saw Reynald and Romance and Rai, I was like, I'm not gonna sign up for this.
Oh man, that's crazy, man. Hey,
you don't know, he doesn't play KOF with SoCal in there.
He doesn't play, like, if there's SoCal in there, he doesn't play. And I was like, I'm upset because he beat me at Yumika, I was like, I need to beat this guy back. And I've been practicing, like, looking and, like, training and, like, looking at his videos, and I'm like, I know that I can beat this guy if I could just play him. And like, when I found out that he was in my pool, I was excited. I'm like, yes, I'm going to take this guy down. And then he...
So you were disappointed when you found out that he didn't want to, when he forfeited, right?
Yeah, I was upset. I had, like, basically, I had a really easy pool. Like, the only good guy in my pool was Marco Polo.
Hey, how was your pool, Reynald?
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
It was easy?
Oh, yeah, I didn't have anybody...
No challenges at all? Nothing? No worries?
Otherwise, pool was tough. And then Romance almost lost. But I think Rai's pool was toughest.
Okay.
He had that guy from SoCal. What was his name? His name Duck?
CMB Duck, and he also had
Chris G in there.
Chris G.
He had that guy from Mexico, Pachuco, and it was Rai. That was a tough pool right there.
Yeah. When it came to skill level, it was pretty close. Pretty much so. Yeah, it was a good. It would have been good to watch if it was streamed.
Word. Were there any players there that surprised either of y'all that y'all have never heard of, like any kind of like hidden players that showed some good skills?
Morrico?
Oh, Merkilo?
Yeah, that guy from Boston.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I got everybody because he almost beat Romance.
Oh, that's the guy I beat, right? The one after I lost to you?
He wasn't that tough for me. Like, I played him, and I beat him a bunch of times. But he was just a bad matchup against Romance.
Yeah.
He Romance the first match, and then he almost beat him again, and he almost put Romance in the loser's side.
Yeah.
Why do you think that happened? Like, why do you think it was a bad matchup for him? Was it maybe his style?
Yeah, just the game style. Just the gameplay he played is just different.
Like Romance doesn't like a guy that he has to chase. Like this guy has basic knowledge of just what kicks or what punches beat other like jump punches. So like whenever Romance jump, this guy just jumped back with like D, and he's like jump back D, fireball, uppercut, jump back D again, jump forward B, and like he'd like mix it up on him. And like Romance was getting desperate. You could see him like he's like, what the hell's going on? I told Romance, I'm like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, just pick Psyche. And he was like, I wanted to, he says, but I didn't want this guy to think that he could beat me, and I had to switch my team up. But like he gave him a hard time, and I think he would have won if he just nailed that HD combo at the end of the third match. But it was a fun match to watch, you know. And that Romance said at the end when we were leaving, this guy said goodbye, and Romance is like, I'm not gonna forget you.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that's crazy how like some people can just like come out the woodwork and like give, you know, like hard players kind of a tough time, you know what I'm saying? And do you guys know if that guy played with like a large group of players, or was it a small group?
No, he only played with 3 other guys in Boston.
Did they come with him?
One more guy came with him.
Okay.
And then he did a couple of guys from New York, but he plays in Boston. I told him basically, I'm like, don't pull a Buckner, because he was winning, and then all of a sudden he makes a mistake, and like he lost, and then he was in top 8, and he was doing okay, and he played Pachuco, and I think he came back and he beat him.
Yeah, he
played Reynald after that.
Yeah, he played me right after.
And Reynald just made him look really bad, because this guy didn't know that matchup. Like Romance is a little more like he jumps a little more. Reynald doesn't jump at all. So like this guy, he was just like he was desperate. You know, the other guy was desperate, and he just made him look a little worse. But the guy's good. I think that if he gets like, you know, it's like I told you last time that we talked, Desmond. If I play in California, I feel that my level would be better, because there's so many good players in SoCal.
Right.
You know, people that play in New York and the Midwest, like today. You know, like I am outside of our local gathering on Mondays. We get together at Ignite Network.
Yeah.
So it's like a place that has like 50 monitors, and like, you know, you come in and you set up. And I'm actually right outside right now, and I like playing against these guys. But when I go to a tournament and then I play Reynald and I play Romance and I play like the good guys, I come back here and I'm like, this is crap, because I get bored playing with these guys, and it's not exciting. And like I wish I could bet these guys like money for money matches, but there's no excitement.
Well, with all due respect, though, right?
With all due respect, their level is not. It's there, you know. Like the guy that I think that plays the best in Chicago is James. And
Right.
I play this guy all the time.
Yeah.
And this is the guy that gives me the hardest time when I play this guy. But I wish that we had more level. But it's hard to raise your level if you don't play against the best players in the U.S. You know, so like I'm only as good as the players that I play with all the time.
Right.
So, you know, I'd like to move into California for a little bit and learn, but like I actually appreciated like playing with Reynald, playing with Romance, playing with Marco Polo, because every time that I do a tournament, I feel that I get better the next time, and like I do better the next tournament, and like I learn my videos, like I see the mistakes that I do, and then the next time that I have a tournament, I do a lot better. You know, like I feel that I'm that much of a better player because I played with somebody that beat me and made me look like shit. So like when something like that happens, it really bothers me, and I'm like, man, I got to come back next time. And like I really study. Like this time, like I should have dropped Chin, but I picked up Mai. But I've only played Mai for 3 weeks.
All right. Well, yo, you're gonna have to tell me a little bit about Mai and a little bit Reynald, yo. Yeah, for the past like couple streams and tournaments, you know, I've seen you rock Ryo Sakazaki, and it seems that he's kind of a underused character here in USA, and I've seen some Japanese players kind of pick him up almost recently, and I wanted to know like what about him it made you want to play with them, or what makes him like so special and powerful for you?
To me, I actually use him for the hit confirms. He has a really long hit
stuns on his stand B and his overhead. And if I could see the animation of getting hit, my opponent getting hit, then I can pretty much activate HD or go into super and do a big punish, basically. I don't see a lot of people hit confirming in this game yet. I mean, still relatively new, and they still have to get used to all the other mechanics. So,
what do you mean when you say hit confirm? What does that mean?
I see the opponent get hit, and then I react to it and do a move.
I've been actually looking at those things, and I'm trying to understand more. And I was reading on Dream Cancel something about Mai, and she has the same thing. Once I see the punch, I'm like, oh, there's a bunch of things that I can do after that. And same thing with Terry. I was trying to find out, after certain punches and certain touches, I can continue combos with the HD or even the super. And I didn't know that before. With Terry, it's just standing B can go in the super immediately.
Right.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Wait, which standing attack? You said standing D or C?
Standing D.
Standing D.
If you do B, if you do down B, down B, down B, standing B, you can do the forward with the 2 forward kicks special.
The Buster Wolf he's talking about.
Oh,
Buster Wolf, yeah.
Okay.
And I started noticing those things, and I like that a lot. I'm trying to learn more of the game. So when I picked up Mai, I said I don't want to just pick up this character and learn how I play. So I actually read every single thing about Mai on Dream Cancel and on a couple other websites.
Right.
And I'm I am actually going to learn every single thing about her. And I'm at work, and instead of watching videos or anything like that, I'm actually reading, and it's actually helping me out a lot.
Oh, word. It's a different change of pace for you, right? Because, I know some players, they play, and some of them don't really read up on stuff online, while there's players that kind of do the opposite. So was it kind of a different thing for you, right?
Well, it is okay. I'm gonna give you a small example. We were at this tournament, Winter Brawl, and there was a little kid that was about 13 years old, and he was playing against the big guys, and he was giving them a hard time. And he was playing with a guy named Tomahawk or something. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to Chris G about it, and the way that I told him, I said, I wish that when I was a kid, I had YouTube and I had Wikipedia and I had all these things that there is to know about the game, because the kids nowadays, they have all this information to make their game better. Mm-hmm. So if you really study about it and you really understand the game, if you can get some fundamentals in there and then you know everything about the game and the negative and the positive frames and stuff like that,
right,
you can become a good kid. And this guy, Chris G, is man, he says, if I had the shit that this kid has 10 years ago, he says, I'd be unstoppable. You basically, you have to take advantage of that. And one of the things that I respect about Reynald is that this guy told me at Unicon one thing that I always remember. He told me 2 things that I liked. One was he attacks me without fear because he knows that I can't punish him. He knows that my punishes they don't do a lot of damage. So he just attacks me, attacks without fear. And the other one was, when he was about to play Romance, he told me, I'm not going to switch my team. I'm going to play these low-tier guys, and I'm just going to throw all my knowledge. So that explains to me that this guy knows knowledge about the game. He knows matchup knowledge, punch knowledge, and everything about it. And he really knows the game. And I didn't know that. Before I came to Winter Brawl, I actually never looked online what am I doing wrong or anything like that. And little by little, I'm starting to understand that you have to play no mistakes. You have to really not do any mistakes.
Right. Following on the point where you were talking about the kid, saying that you met, and as far as all the knowledge of the game and stuff, this past weekend we saw this crazy performance by Wawa up at the World Game Cup, man. Yeah, did you see that, Mario?
Little Bow Wow or whatever his name is.
Wawa from France. Yeah, he's 10 years old and he was rocking it, man. It was incredible to watch, dude. Like,
I heard he beat Marco.
yeah, I believe so. I don't think it was on stream, but I didn't see it. Maybe it was. I mean,
I saw his videos.
I would like to see that, but man, that was like from what I saw, it was crazy, dude. He was hitting all his HD combos right, all his confirms right. He was like reading the opponent really well. Like the way he was playing, man, like it was like a really like mature way to play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everything.
Like,
basically, when you're a kid, dude, like everything comes natural. Like if you feel like something's gonna work, you're just gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I could kind of like go back, back in the days when I was playing and like the way I wasn't serious about it, but just the way he was playing, it just looked like an adult was playing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my best years were in '98. Like that's when I played the best in '98, and it's 2013 right now. I was like 15 years old.
Oh, right.
And I was winning tournaments in Mexico, and I was doing really good. And that's how I got that nickname of Ryno, because everybody would call me the kid.
Right.
I was the youngest kid playing tournaments.
And you were beating adults and stuff, right?
I was beating everybody, man.
Because like it's kind of funny because like when like kids kind of enter on the scene and in the fighting game scene and they're young like that, you know what I'm saying? Like teenagers and they're rocking. I think those can be like your kind of prime like years or something like that. Like everything's fresh. Your reflexes are all like sharp and everything. All this.
Well, see, let me interrupt you on this one, okay? So this kid that's playing in France, this kid, he takes it seriously.
Yes.
But I'll give you an example. When we were at Winter Brawl, we had one kid that was playing, and this kid was playing last year at Summer Jam. And I gave the kid some tips, and I said, this is how you need to play. This is what you need to do, blah, blah. And then I played him again at Winter Brawl, and I beat him really, really bad.
Right.
And after the game was over, I told the kid, I'm like, hey, this is what I think you should do next time. This is what I think you're doing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I said that, he turned around and said, I don't even care. I don't even play this game.
Oh.
And I was like, wait, you are playing this game. You're practicing combos. You're doing good. Like, I think the problem with the kid is that they're a little more emotional. So, like, when they lose, they kind of either get mad or they might quit the game.
Right.
That's why you really don't see a kid playing a fighting game, a young kid, because they usually say, well, I can't play this fighting game because I always lose, so I'm going to go back to playing,
Easy
SpongeBob or some crap.
Right.
They're going to play a different game because they just got their asses kicked.
You think it's kind of like a maturity kind of thing? Like, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Do you think it's like more of like a maturity kind of thing? Because when you're young like that, you kind of take losses a little seriously,
For sure.
And you kind of attribute it to who you are.
It's a lot to be a fighter. It takes a lot to be a competitor. Like me, I hate playing by myself. If I play at home, I never play online. I never play against the machine. All I do is practice mode every time. And I thrive on that competitive nature. Like I played Reynald on that. I played Reynald on that top 8, and I played really well, I feel, and I beat him. But after I beat him, I was shaking. Like my arms were shaking, my chest was shaking.
Really?
And that adrenaline was pumping so hard. I love that. Like I love that shit, and I stopped having that for 8 years, because nothing gave me the adrenaline that the gaming gave me. So when they closed out an arcade here in Chicago, and I stopped playing tournaments, I didn't have this for like 10 years until King of Fighters 13 came back. But that adrenaline, that's what I go for, and I wish I could control it back like I used to control it in like 2000, in 98 in King of Fighters 2000.
Right.
Because I can control it back then, and I would never make mistakes, and my hands wouldn't shake as much as they do now. Like my hands are shaking every time I'm playing a big match. And that's what I love about the game, that adrenaline. Some kids might not feel it that way.
Right. Speaking upon Winter Brawl 7, we saw y'all play on the stream, and Mario, man, you touched on this a little earlier. You surprised me when you picked Mai, because I never saw you pick her before. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of the advantages and disadvantages with Mai that you found so far?
I think that when I've gone to these tournaments, I started picking up Chin because I felt that he was a guy that needed little work to win. Because he touches you once and it's over. And a lot of players play with characters like that, like Mr. Karate, which I gotta say is the character that I hate the most in the game. And I can't. They don't have to do work to win. So I started playing Chin, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to drink with this character. I like the fact that he puts a lot of work with him. I like that. So then I was playing with a random select for a while. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of picking characters that everybody plays. I'm going to pick somebody that nobody plays with. And the two characters that nobody plays with is Leona and Mai. I think those are the characters that nobody plays with. So I started playing with Mai, and it gave me the satisfaction that you have to put a lot of work with her. And she has horrible defense in the corner. Like, she doesn't have an uppercut or reverse, whatever. But you have to put a lot of work with her to win. And I really enjoy that. I enjoy my game lasting 60 seconds. I enjoy her combos in the corner. I enjoy that in the corner. And that's my style of play. I play Yori, Terry, and I used to play Kyo. And I feel that my best game is in the corner when I have somebody in the corner. So I just felt that she was the best type of player for me. It's a corner player, but at the same time she has really weird jumps.
Yeah.
And I enjoy those, and I enjoy her. I think that it's just the fact that nobody knows her matchup very well, and it gives everybody a hard time. I feel that people are going to get used to her a little more as the game goes on, because I don't think that she's that bad. I was watching a guy from, I think it's Japan, that has her, that picks her up. And this guy puts her second every time. And every match that I watch with this guy, he kills everybody with Mai. He's really, really solid. And that Nero match that she has is ridiculous. I think she's a strong character. I don't think that there's any cheap or weak characters, and there's no weak characters in King of Fighters. I think every character has their own thing. A while back nobody picked up Raiden, and now Raiden is one of the strongest. Leona is good. Reynald was playing with Maxima. This Maxima is a beast. And I just think that you have to learn how to use it. And another example about these guys from Cafe ID. This guy Lassad picks up Ash, and nobody was picking up Ash, and now Reynald also picked up Ash too. And you see these characters, you're low tier characters, but when a guy that knows how to use that character, understands the game and shows everybody else that, hey, this character can be a top tier character if you know how to use the character.
Right. Okay. Reynald, man, got a question for you. You've been playing with Kim for quite a bit, and I think you're one of the top Kim practitioners around. And in the thread in the forums, we've been kind of talking about Kim being top tier, and someone said that, well, it's more their opinion, but they feel that Iori is better than Kim. How do you feel about that?
Well, let me start off by saying I haven't used Kim in months.
Right? Yeah.
Basically, I have dropped them already.
Yeah. I was gonna say that, but I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's alright, man. Yeah, I basically dropped them already. Alright, so anyways, Iori being better than Kim is what you're saying. Iori is the only character that's better than him, or he's up in par with Iori?
We're talking about Claw Iori. I think it was more of a comparison or whatever. I mean, people kind of going back and forth in the thread or whatever. I mean, in my opinion, I think Kim's better than Claw Iori. You know, it was just kind of like this whole debate.
Is it? Well, you have to think about it this way. Are they talking about matchups, as in there are different kinds of matchups, or are they talking about head-on Claw versus Kim? Because Kim is better than Claw in that matchup.
I think
Terry's better than Kim, man.
Huh?
I think Terry's better than Kim.
In that matchup, I think Terry has. It's about 50-50.
I like my matchup against Kim. His standing C is killer.
Yeah, maybe a little bit in Terry's favor in that matchup, but yeah, like I was saying, like are they talking about Iori versus Kim, or are they talking about Iori versus the rest of the cast and Kim versus the rest of the cast?
Yeah,
what are they talking about?
We're talking about the latter because we was kind of going into about like the whole tier list or whatever, and someone said, hey, I think Iori's like over Kim in like their own little personal tier list or whatever.
Okay.
Well, think about it this way, Desmond. You have Claw Iori, and Claw Iori has so many like one-touch kill combos.
Yeah.
And this guy does so much damage, and like Kim does a lot of damage. But I think that one of the reasons that a lot of people say, "Oh, this guy's top tier," or "This guy's the best," is because their simplicity on their kill combos. Like, see, I think that, like, okay, I was playing a guy today who was playing Mr. Karate, and I just don't understand how simple it is for this guy to knock down 500 out of my life. Like, it's just like uppercut, cancel with the B, and special, or, you know, I mean, it's so easy, and I feel that that's why people are, like, top tier. But I consider Mr. Karate low tier. This guy has nothing else but his uppercut and his, like, I mean, he's a solid player. But I hate him. I can't stand it. I don't think he's that much of a solid character. And honestly, every guy that I've played on tournament, some people don't really understand how to use this guy. So I don't think he's that good.
Well, that's the person using the character. Then it's not really the character itself.
Yeah. I mean, Mr. Karate is easy to use. I mean,
yeah.
I think that anybody picks this guy up.
I can agree with that.
He's gonna do damage no matter what.
Yeah,
pick up a character that's hard to use. Like I was picking up Diamond. Well, after I saw you playing with Diamond.
Yeah.
And this guy's hard to use. I mean, to get those combos in and to get the confirms in and to get everything in, you have to have patience. You have to have a little more. You know, Mr. Karate, dude, his uppercuts and his CDs are ridiculous. You know what I mean? Just like all you have to do is everybody's just kind of like chasing you around with that, with forward and back 2 punches. What's it called? His special. They're just like buffering his special as you're playing, and all they're waiting for is that. It's just stupid. And people that play Mr. Karate, for some reason, I just can't respect them. I hate Mr. Karate. That's the character I hate most in the game. I like the Kuma. The Kuma's badass.
Okay, well, I mean, Kim is in top tier, honestly. He is pretty simple. Right. His range is pretty good, but he does have some character matchups that isn't in his favor.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Like, let's say, I would like to say command grab characters, but not so. I mean, if it was like Benny or something, then that would be a bad matchup for.
I think Mai is a good matchup for Terry.
Terry?
Yeah.
Are you talking about?
Mai has this that command grab on her down B. Beat Kim's charge kick.
Oh, you meant Mai versus Kim, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Terry.
Yeah. All right.
I think they're a good match. I think Mai's a good matchup, and like every time I play games with Mai, I mean, I give him a hard time with her, and I'm just learning Mai. But like she's quick, she's low, like she's got safe jumps. I mean, she's solid. I like this character. I think she's a better matchup for Kim than Yori, than my Flame Yori. But you know, like I said, everybody's got their own knowledge of the game, and I think it's how you use the character. It's not that it has nothing to do with top tier or low tier.
Right.
You know, this guy Juicebox, he plays with Leona, and he's pretty good with Leona. You know, I mean, you put a Leona on anybody else, and they're going to suck. You know, because it's how you understand the players, how you understand the game, and it's all about matchups. Anybody can beat anybody. It's just about matchups and understanding what mistakes the other guy makes, and that's it. Right. Simple basics. I love King of Fighters.
All right, cool. Reynald, man. So it was you and AGE Romance in the grand finals at Winter Brawl. If you could, can you like relate to us like some of the thoughts that you had while you were playing, like kind of some concerns or whatever, or you know some pretty some moments where you kind of felt that like you kind of had the upper hand, or the advantage or disadvantage. If you could, if you can tell us.
I'm pretty much. I hate being in losers.
Right.
And it's already difficult for me coming back from losers, as just mentally.
That's what actually Roman said to me.
Yeah.
He says, you hurt him by putting him in losers. He says, thank you so much. Yeah. I don't think that I could have beaten him on winners and then in grand finals again.
Yeah, mentally it's kind of difficult for me. I mean, I'm not used to that, honestly.
Right.
Like it kind of changes up my strategies. If I'm not comfortable, then obviously I'm gonna second guess myself very often. And I think that's what a lot of people do in this game is they second guess themselves in what their strategy is or what have you when playing somebody, and that's just right off the bat too. You know, like you shouldn't be doing that in the first place. Honestly, that's just a general tip I would give to people: is just play your game and don't worry about who you're playing against. Anyways, it was difficult. It was very difficult in that matchup. I didn't get the right punishes.
Right.
A lot of the moves that should have hit, that I thought should have worked, didn't, and I got punished for it like big time. And it sucks when that happens, because I start to even doubt myself even more when that happens. And it happened continuously throughout the whole match, throughout the whole first, what was it? 3 out of 5. It wasn't only just one match, too, so it really sucked. So every time that happened, though, I had to tell myself, I gotta trust myself. Like, I know that should have worked, and that was just like a one-time thing.
Right.
And a lot of those things that happened was pretty much a one-time thing, which was weird because there was a lot of one-time things that happened that
was a crazy match. There was a lot of drops on your part and on his part. You guys were doing so good, and all of a sudden it's like drop, and then you had a chance to punish, and and you dropped it, and he's like, okay, I'm back at you, and I drop it again, and it was like drop after drop, and we're like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
And it was, it was a good match.
Yeah, matches like that are usually very tense, and it's a good match when people are dropping stuff.
I mean, you guys are. I think you guys are both right now. Bala left, and Bala was solid overall. But I think that right now in the U.S., you guys are top 1 and 2. You guys are both tied at 1. I mean, you guys are both great. Like you've taken major wise against each other. You're 1 and 1.
Yeah.
It's Yumicon, and it's just gonna get better. You guys just get better every time.
Yeah.
I try to tell Romans, I'm like, can I play on the left side? I really don't like playing on the right side.
I mean, he does because he wants the king glitch.
What was that?
That's what he tells you because he likes the king glitch.
The king glitch?
Yeah.
Oh, the corner roll?
He did that to you, right? And I don't think he knew. I think he thought that you knew about it, but he didn't do anything.
You're talking about the roll in the corner, right?
Right after you throw an opponent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you play on the left side, you can do it, and if you play on the right side, you can't do it, or something?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like some old school stuff, man. That's like that 98 stuff.
If I played on the left side, he can't do it to me.
No.
What the hell, man? I'm going to play on the left side from now on. I'm going to tell this guy, you don't let me play on the left side, I'm going to kick your ass. I didn't know that there was a glitch about that.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised that you didn't know, but, you know, it's a little dirty.
That's kind of like the back turn glitch in O2. You know, if you knock them down a certain way and you do a cross up on them, it'll actually hit them the other way, and you have to block the other way around when they're getting up. Yeah, that's pretty dirty.
I didn't know that. Is that just with King?
Yes.
What the hell, man?
Yeah, he did it once to you, but I think he thought that you knew about it.
Well, man, next time I'm not going to let him. Next time I'm going to be on the first side, man. I mean, I honestly feel like we played better on the left side. It's just my mistake. I should adapt more. But I wish that, I hope that tournaments do the one-on-one screen. But because I don't mind playing on the second player side, I just don't like playing that far from the screen.
Yeah.
So when I have my little stand, I just don't enjoy it. I like playing on the left side.
Yeah.
So I'm like today I didn't bring my stand and I'm playing on my legs. I gotta get used to it. But you know, I gotta practice for the new coming tournament. Reynald, you're going to Wawa, right?
Yeah. I'll get that.
I'm not going, man. My girlfriend canceled my trip.
What?
Oh, man.
Yeah, we have a family vacation, so now apparently I'm only going to UFGT. I'm gonna try to go to CEO, and then I'm going to Vegas.
Good. That's good.
Are you going to UFGT, Reynald?
No, I'm not gonna go to that.
Okay.
I'll be at CEO, I think.
Okay.
I live like maybe 10 minutes away from UFGT. You come over, man. All you gotta do is get the flights. You can stay at my house.
Are you sure, man?
Yeah, Desmond, you do the same thing, man.
Word. Cool.
You know I can fit like 8 people in my apartment, man.
8 people?
Dude, I have a huge apartment. I can fit like I have 2 living rooms and I have a bedroom. I can fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can fit like 8 people in my apartment.
Nice.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, everybody come over, man. Everybody that's listening, you come over at Mario's place.
All right, so get Mario's house.
All right, Mario, got a question for you, man. You were talking a little earlier about you know, the local scene and kind of you know, how you know you play around the people, or like you're only as good as the people that you play around. What are ways that you think that a local crew can try to improve upon for they can get to a higher level? I mean, because I know that traveling is really important. I feel like, traveling to different places and playing different people, that's really important. But like, what way can, like, if traveling isn't really like, if traveling like isn't really like ideal, like which way do you think that can help a local crew improve?
I think the best way is actually like a lot of people here in Chicago, they're selfish. And I actually, one of the players here in Chicago a while back, this guy never wanted to play me. We never wanted to play each other. Like I was always looking to play him, but he never wanted to play me, and he's really good. And one day I told him, I'm like, listen, man, I said, gaming is bigger than you and me. I said, I can give 2 shits about Chicago. I said, I'm focused on bigger things. I'm focused on Vegas. I'm focused on big tournaments. So this guy that I'm talking about was James. And I told James, I'm like, hey, we have to help each other. So the last time, like right before I went to actually Winter Brawl, I told this guy, I said, listen, man, I said, I need you to help me. I need you to come to my house. And we need to practice. So, like, instead of just playing for playing, this guy was actually helping me train. And we were talking about what other players do, what other characters do, and, like, the matchups that I'm going to face against other characters. And this guy, James, knows a lot about the game. So I feel that it's the way that local players get better is that they need to stop focusing on themselves that much. Like, let's say you in Minnesota, you have your group of 15 guys, right? And your 15 guys, you have maybe 2 or 3 that are better than everybody else. If those 2 or 3 guys stop being selfish and then they just focus on Minnesota and they focus on, U.S. wide, like local, like big tournaments, like majors, then you're going to help each other. You're going to talk to your guys and be like, listen, this is what you're doing wrong. Let's get better together. Let's do this matchup. I played Mario last month. This is what he does. I played Reynald 2 weeks ago. This is what he does. I played Romance. And if you guys talk about it and really understand the mistakes that the other character does, and you kind of help each other, I told James, I'm like, why don't you pick up this character? Help me see what this guy does. And he was playing with karate, or he was playing with Betty Mario. And I feel that if somebody asked me, hey Mario, I have a hard time with Diamond. I'm like, okay, I'll pick up Diamond for you. But if you guys, if people kind of help each other train for majors, I feel that's the biggest advantage anybody can have. Because I know that in UFGT, I'm going to get a bunch of guys that are really good at UFGT. And I want to win. But if let's say Romance comes or Reynald comes, I'm going to look at his game and I'm going to have somebody pick up Ryo for me to understand his game better. So I feel that it's that community thing. That's what really helps. There's a lot of selfish players out there. They just want to win, and they don't care about improving outside of their box. But the main thing is that I told James last time, I don't care about Chicago. I care about California. I care about Evo. I care about the big tournaments. I'm thinking out of the box. I don't care if I can beat everybody in Chicago. That's not what I'm in for. I'm in for the big bucks. I want to make some big money on it, and it's not even about the money. It's about winning. You want to be known as the best player out there. That's just how I see it. Everybody's got to sacrifice a little bit. But training is, I think, sacrificing and training not just for the purpose of beating your friends and your local guys, but to really beat the guys that are outside of your box.
Okay, Reynald, man, you have any thoughts on that particular subject on ways that a local crew, a small local crew, can improve?
Yeah, definitely. If you've played a really top player, or you see videos and you see something you like, or you want to improve upon, I would suggest just mimicking what they do. I mean, if they're winning, obviously something's working for them, and then once you start mimicking it, and then you'll start to understand why it's working, and then you'll start to understand more about the game at the same time. Is it because he's negative on frames, he's able to do this during this certain setup, you know what I mean? Just stuff like that. It really does improve gameplay in general. I've known to do that over here too. I just mimic everybody who's doing really good with a certain character, and I figure out what's making my character tick, And that's basically what makes me, puts me where I am right now.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
I'm gonna use that, man, because I gotta learn more.
Yeah,
and it's fun too, I like learning about certain characters, and then beating people with their own tactics and stuff too. I like doing that.
But how do you practice? How do you practice defense though? Do you kind of just keep you just try to be as patient as you can? Because I know a lot of people, they can hit all these combos and stuff like that, but once you start putting the pressure on them, they can't do anything,
When it comes to defense, honestly, I use a lot of zoning tactics. I know which move would be safe if I were to use it in certain areas. But you really have to be conscious of that. It's a lot easier when you're using a new character, honestly, because you're not in autopilot. You're less likely to be in autopilot when you're using a new character. So your defense, I would like to say your defense. My defense is a lot better when I'm using new characters. But if I'm using it for a while, I start to go on autopilot, and I just go with what works. And then most people, they already know what I'm doing, so it kind of sucks. But, learning new characters. The defense part, you could watch other people, how they're doing, in those certain situations with that character.
Right.
And then maybe just looking out for certain things, and then kind of just hitting him before it even happens, basically. And if you don't like being put in a situation, just basically don't be put in that situation in the first place. Like, look at what they did to put you in that situation, which you don't like.
Right.
You know what I mean? If it's like, let's say somebody's just jump seating you all day and you keep getting hit, just don't get hit by the jump CD. Do something else, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's like a perfect example of having a better defense.
Right.
It doesn't have to actually be blocking. It's just anticipating or looking for certain things that you know that they hit you with.
Right. Yeah, I can agree with that, man. Because, like, you know, the best form of security is prevention. You know, just
Yep.
Don't put yourself in that situation. You know, then it won't happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, Mario. What about you, man? How do you kind of like practice defensive like tactics?
Well, my biggest problem is I go back a lot and I backdash a lot. So, like, my biggest character problems are characters like Kyo and King that have that stand B that kind of hits you low. So, like, when characters do that gives me a hard time. But, you know, like, it's the same thing. Like I just have to pay attention to my game and say, you know what, this is what I'm doing wrong. And, like, the advantage that we have, us gamers right now, is that we have YouTube. You know, and, like, I'm a competitive gamer, and, like, I see my games on videos all the time. So I just look at my game and I'm like, okay, this is what I did wrong. This is what I did right. And the next time that I play, I'm gonna use those tactics. You know, I'm gonna understand why I lost that game.
So basically, use your mistakes as research, right?
Yeah, I'm just looking at my videos. I'm not looking at anybody else's videos. I mean, I know how everybody else plays, but the funny thing is that nobody plays like I play. Like, I've actually looked at videos, and I've never seen a guy that plays like my style of game. And, you know, some guys have a rush down, some guys, I'm basically all attack all the time, and I don't care. So it's hard for me to, like, look at other guys' videos and learn from them. So I basically learn from my mistakes, my videos, you know, and that's how I get better.
You know,
looking at my videos.
You know, what's funny is I still do that. I still only watch my videos. Anyways, also adding on to that, I pretty much played like he did. He just all he did was attack and then learn from his mistakes, basically. And you know, that's really good. If that's the way you learn, then that's the way you learn. You know, just go with that. You know, you don't need to change up how you do things. But it's as long as you're learning. You know, like you know what you're doing wrong. You know what you're getting hit by, and you know what to do during certain situations. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny how when you're watching a video, you just say, like, I've been watching videos of some of the games that I've lost, and, like, when I look at them, I'm like, why did I do that? Like, I can see myself saying, why did I do that? I could have done this. You know, how did I miss that?
Yeah, it's hard to really control yourself when you're playing a match because everything goes by pretty fast, and you're thinking like 100 miles a minute. You know.
And sometimes you get a good match. You know, sometimes you understand the game a little better. You know, like I understand after this tournament winning Brawl, I understood a lot of things that I was doing wrong, and I actually started playing a different style of game just for a little bit, and I felt that I was playing a lot better. You know, like, so, you know, this is going to help me a lot because I really want to be top 8 at EVO. I want to be at that top 8 spots.
You don't want to win?
I'm saying I want to be at that top 8 level.
You don't want first place?
I want to compete against the top 8 players in the world, and you know, and that's my focus for this year. And if everything goes well or not, you know, I don't know how King of Fighters is going to last, but I might stop playing after EVO. You know, because I don't have that much time. But
you got a lot though. Are you in deathbed right now or something?
No, man. I just
yeah, make it sound like you sick or something, man.
No, no. My job. I have 3 dogs. My girlfriend. I'm trying to open up a business. It's very time consuming, and I like.
Of course.
You know, it's hard. It's hard to get there. You know, it's hard.
I know, man. I know.
You know, I mean, I give nothing but props to like my sponsor. It's a fantastic thing to be sponsored by a company.
Right. You know, speaking of props, why don't we give some shout outs, man? Yeah. Why don't we wrap things out with some shout outs? And Mario, why don't you go ahead and give some proper dedication and gratitude to whomever. You can go first.
Dude, Sebastian, my sponsor, the guy that picked me up. Without him, none of this would be possible. I mean, I'd probably be traveling because I work and I don't mind paying for flights. But this is a great opportunity, and you know, I love my team. I actually got to know Chris G a little better, and Roman's part of the team, and Knives and Snake Eyes and Fnatic. I met these guys. Like, they're pretty cool guys. I enjoy playing for this team. I think our team is getting better and better every month, and I hope we do really good in the next coming majors. But you know, thanks to my sponsor, PvP, AG, Afterglow Elite is pretty badass.
All right, Reynald, shout outs.
All right, shout outs to everybody in SoCal right now, or whoever's going to listen to this in SoCal. Shout out to my sponsor, Arcade Shock. Man, it's like Mario said, it's a great thing being sponsored. It really is, and being the only sponsored player in the company is actually pretty good too. Has plenty of perks.
Hey man, before I forget, man, my mom always tells me, you mention everybody but me. But thanks to my, I give a shout out to my mother.
Man, that's making me look bad, man. What the hell?
Hey man, you say shout out to your mom too, man. But my mom always gets mad at me. She says, you say goodbye to everybody, you say hi to everybody, but you never say anything about me. Without me, you wouldn't be here.
Oh, that's true, man. That's very true.
That's
you gotta
true.
give respect to the moms, you know.
My mom is badass. I love my mom. Shout out to you, Desmond, man. I love that you do these podcasts, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, thanks.
You know that I'm always available for these.
Thanks a lot. You know, I'll do what I can, you know, for the love of the game.
Yeah, that's not the community too, you know. People, you know, you asked earlier what am I surprised of when I went to Winter Brawl. I was surprised at the level of play in the East Coast. Honestly, talking to some of the guys in New Jersey, they tell me, you know, they just was in New Jersey. I think it was New Jersey, and some other guys. I forgot where else they're from, but they said they've only recently picked up the game, and I was surprised with what they were doing, what they were capable of in the game, and it was really good. It was really, really good.
It was a good tournament. I actually enjoyed this tournament. Yeah. And, this guy, Big G, man, he did a hell of a job. He put that $1,000 out of his pocket. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's about it. Just let everybody know that's listening. Thanks for listening to this show. Hope you hope this helps you, you know, step up your game. Kind of want to go back to what I was saying before again. You know, if you have any streams, any upcoming streams, post them in the thread. We'll put them up on the front page. Also, if you have any, you know, feedback for this show or any kind of ideas for any future shows, hit us up in the podcast thread or podcast section. And also, read the wiki. If there's any mistakes, let us know. Give us a correction. We'll fix it up. What else? Oh, also, there's a KOF 13 FAQ thread. We're trying to work on this kind of a KOF 13 FAQ kind of article or whatever for newer players. So check it out if you have any questions or whatever, or if you have your own kind of like Q&As or whatever. Go ahead and post it in, and we'll probably start to like put it together maybe like next month or so. We'll start like looking at questions, seeing what's good, what's bad, you know, things that aren't necessary or whatever. Things are helpful, things that aren't helpful. So again, if you want to help us out with that, that'll be like real cool, for the new players or whatever, to keep KOF rolling. And again, this is episode 17 of Drive Cancer Radio. I'm Desmond Delaghetto, and I just want everybody to keep practicing and playing KOF, keep it hype, and I think that's about it.
Thanks, Des.
All right.
All right, peace.